One question a person should ask themselves: how did faith reach us? I mean, we believe in certain things, we live by them, and we are confident that they are true. So, how did they get to us? I mean, how did humans come to know that God exists? And how did we come to know that God is a Trinity? And how did we know that God became incarnate? Is it really God who became incarnate? How did we come to know that what we have in our hands is truly a sacred book inspired by God? How did we come to understand the interpretation of the texts found in the Holy Bible, the faith that has reached us? Let's make it clear at the start of our discussion that this is not just a set of suggestions or conclusions or discoveries or claims. It's not like someone is simply claiming that God exists and people went along with it, or someone working hard in a laboratory until he discovered that God exists and then told us about it, or someone just sitting around one afternoon. How would you translate Asari, afternoon then? And drank a strong cup of coffee and just relaxed and thought deeply. And then said, why don't we say there is a God, as if he just suggested this idea to us? Or someone looked at creation and concluded that there must be a God. In reality, we can never grasp or understand divine matters through our limited human capabilities. The human mind is simply unable to comprehend what is divine. And I'll give you a comparison, if I may. A carpenter who works with wood understands the different types of wood, but the wood doesn't understand the carpenter. That's how we are. We are creations. We are made beings, and he is the creator. But the difference between the wood and the carpenter and us and God is that we have minds, and the mind can understand. Wood doesn't have a mind, but no matter how powerful our minds are, but it will only understand within the limits of what is created. It won't understand within the limits of what belongs to the Creator, except for what the Creator reveals to us. These devices in front of us, I know everything inside them, but they don't know who I am. But I can give them information about me, write my name or my password, and maybe some unlock with a fingerprint, and other devices that unlock when it sees me. If it sees Bishop Youssef, it's like, no, I don't know you, it won't open. So the devices know, but they only know what? What we put in, the data we entered. But as they say, the computer is very smart and very stupid at the same time. It's very smart because you can give it anything and it will solve it for you. But it's stupid because it can't deduce or predict anything. Any mistake can make it give you the wrong result. It doesn't expect that you made a mistake and correct it. Well, it's true that now the device can give you suggestions like, did you mean this? But no matter what, no computer will ever reach that level, even with all the robots and such. Artificial intelligence can never reach the level of the human who created it. People get scared and say, well, what if computers and these devices take over the world and then kill us? But control is in the hands of humans. It's the human who does it. It's the same story with God. His system is completely different from all of creation, and that's why God's knowledge is unique. This type of knowledge can only be revealed divinely. Now, I'll read you a passage from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11. I will read it in English. Here it is. At that time, Jesus answered and said, I thank you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that you have hidden these things from the wise and prudent and have revealed them to babes. Revealed, they were a revelation. They were not conclusions. And who did he hide it from? Those who think themselves clever. Those who are the wise and the learned. Sometimes the one who thinks he understands a lot finds that true knowledge of God escapes him. He may know a lot, but about someone other than God. He's a professor of theology, speaking about deep theological matters. But he's talking about someone other than God because he's inserted his own mind into the matter. He put in philosophy, not divine revelation. He inserted himself. I asked myself, why did Christ, when he became incarnate, was born in a poor town and surrounded himself with simple people? At that time, in Greece there was civilization and philosophy, and in Egypt there was civilization and philosophy. If Christ had been born in Alexandria, he would have found philosophy there, and then his disciples would have been 12 men we could boast about and say, the ones who laid down the foundations of our faith were great philosophers, or the Greeks. But he did something else. On the contrary, he was born in Bethlehem and lived in Nazareth. Nazareth was a humble town, and he took most of his disciples from Bethsaida. They were all fishermen. The only one who was from Jerusalem, who was a Jew in that sense, was Judas. Judas was a Jew, the rest were Galileans and fishermen. So Lord, what are you planning to do? He says, I'm going to start an academy. An academy? Then bring in people who can actually do something. You're going to lay the foundation of faith through these people today. Those who are studying for a doctorate in theology now refer back to what Peter said in his epistle. Who was Peter? A fisherman. What about John? Peter was a simple man, but John wrote the Gospel of John and the book of Revelation. Wasn't he a fisherman? The son of Zebedee, the one who had a boat, left his boat and came with Christ? And did Christ, before letting them write the Holy Scriptures, give them any courses in anything? Did he hold a convention and gather people and give them something? It was all extremely simple. Why? Because unfortunately, the more we learn, the more we insert our own opinions into the matter. But when we are humble, we just sit, listen, and say, wow, these are truly beautiful words. So, should the church teach or not teach? Of course it should teach. Why? For the sake of the humble people who don't know, so they can understand what's right. If someone comes and says something wrong, they shouldn't just say, your words are nice and beautiful and comforting. No. So, who was the teacher who handed down the faith to our fathers, the apostles? Christ himself. Now, we weren't worried about them teaching something wrong, right? So, he brought them people from scratch, from the ground up, from 0 point, or even minus. These people were simple, so that when he told them something, they would be amazed and in awe, memorize it and repeat it without mixing in their own opinions, because honestly, they probably didn't even have an opinion. Maybe we could ask for their opinion on fishing, even in fishing. He told them, you don't know this either. I'll make you fish better than your own expertise. They replied, Master, we've worked hard all night and caught nothing, but at your word. Basically, he was stepping into their field, their area of expertise. He told them, no, even your experience, forget about it, because I have the truth. And they were actually faithful. That's why the Holy Bible says that we are built on a foundation. First, the apostles and prophets, and Jesus Christ himself, the chief cornerstone. So here, let me read this text, or rather, let me continue it. You have hidden these things from the wise and prudent, and have revealed them to babes. Even so, Father, for so it seemed good in your sight. It is a good thing in your eyes that you give it to the humble people. All things have been delivered to me by my Father, and no one knows the Son except the Father. Nor does anyone know the Father except the Son, and the one to whom the Son wills to reveal him. So far, so good. No one knows the Son except the Father. Forgive me, Saint Athanasius, and don't be upset with me. You don't know the Son, only the Father knows him. And no one knows the Father except whom? This makes sense because he is equal to the Father in essence. They know each other deeply. An absolute or relative knowledge? Absolute. So are we just going to sit and watch, saying, Lord, we can't know you? He answers, no. And the one to whom the Son will reveal him. The person to whom God will reveal him. So to whom will he reveal? He told us earlier, to the humble people, those who don't try to force their own ideas into the matter. So our knowledge of God comes to us through revelation, not through discoveries. And by the way, pay attention, this is completely different from science. Even in science, focus with me on this point. The sciences studied at university are not all the same. There are sciences that come through discoveries, like chemistry, physics, medicine, and things like that. There are sciences that are learned through instruction, meaning someone teaches me the fundamentals of the craft. For example, languages. When you first came here to America, you didn't speak English. Just like me with the Fayumi accent, the Akhmimi accent, or the Bahira accent, right? But your kids, as they grew up here, they naturally picked up an American accent, which is quite different from the Australian accent or British accent. So There are sciences that are learned through instruction, not through discoveries. None of you is going to discover a new word in the English language. And no one, for example, got a PhD in English because he invented for us a new dictionary. In some sciences, someone gets a PhD or becomes a scientist or even wins a Nobel Prize because they created something new for us. But in other sciences, a scholar is valued by how well they know the fundamentals, not by inventing something new. And in other fields like geography, no one is going to invent a new map, but someone is considered a professor or an expert based on their knowledge. Because he has memorized all the geography of the world, he knows it by heart, and whenever we need something, we go to him, and he always has the answer ready. And so each science has a different story. If the worldly sciences, the ones taught at universities, differ from one field to another, how much more when it comes to knowing God? This is the mistake that atheists fall into. They say, prove to me that God exists, and they want it proven to them in the laboratory. I remember something funny. Once I was at a conference in Egypt, and then a priest came and sat next to me. We were chatting, and he said to me, education in Upper Egypt has gone downhill. So I wanted to know, downhill in what way? He said, the kids can't tell the difference between right and left. At that moment, I didn't ask what that meant. I was afraid because I also didn't know the difference. I thought for a bit, wondering what he meant. Turns out he wanted to say they can't tell right from left. So what did he do? He suggested that R-I-G-H-T should be pronounced right. That was his suggestion. Do you have any objections? His problem is that he wasn't taught. You get the idea? His problem is that it wasn't passed down to him. He suggested setting the rules for reading. R is pronounced rech, I is pronounced ye, g, is pronounced gain. Anyone object? So in his view, it became rate. So he didn't know for sure how exactly would he go about pronouncing it. Would you say ha or something else? Of course, this could earn him a PhD in English because he invented a new pronunciation for a word that's been around for ages. That's the problem. If he teaches people this way, or if the teacher at school is also teaching like that, yeah, you never know. See how the concept is easy? I'm trying to make it easy to accept. When it comes to faith, I can't just suggest, invent, add, improve, or modify things so I can become a theologian. If linguists become experts because they know the roots of the language, grammar, morphology, and syntax, then in faith it's the same. The matters are a revelation from God to people. As our teacher, the Apostle Paul, says in Hebrews 1:1, God, who at various times and in various ways spoke in time past to the fathers by the prophets. God spoke in various ways to the fathers through the holy prophets. And the verse that our Father and His grace mentioned, the faith once delivered to the saints, it's something we have received. So how did the faith reach us even before the Holy Bible was written? Tawatur. I'm not sure of the best way to say tawatur in English. Transmission, it means that the information was delivered from father to son, and so on. It refers to the transmission or passing down of information from one generation to another. The information got transmitted from grandfather to father to son. How do you know this information? My father told me. And how does your father know? My grandfather told him. This is transmission from generation to the next. I will read you a passage from Job, chapter 8, verse 19. For inquire, please, the former age, and consider the things discovered by their fathers. For we were born yesterday and know nothing, because our days on earth are but a shadow. This is the humble person. Ask the people of old, and verify what knowledge they reached. because we are from yesterday and do not know. We are still children of yesterday. This is an expression we use in Egypt. You are the son of yesterday. We are all children of yesterday, meaning we are still young compared to the many generations that have come to the church. And in the book of Deuteronomy, God says to Moses, remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask your father, and he will tell you, your elders, and they will inform you. So, they received it. I mean, the first question that comes to mind is, in the book of Genesis, we read that Abel offered a sacrifice. How did he know about it? From whom? From Adam. Okay, did Cain know or not? He knew, but he let his own thinking get involved. That's the problem. God told him to offer a sacrifice, meaning when you approach him, you should slaughter a lamb and make a sacrifice. So Abel became a shepherd. It made sense for him to take the best lamb from his flock and offer it to the Lord. But Cain worked as a farmer and cultivated the land, so he followed his own thinking. And he thought, since his work is farming, he would take some of the crops from the land and offer them to the Lord. Here lies the difference between someone who receives instructions and follows them, and someone who receives instructions and improvises. That's why God looked favorably upon Abel but not Cain. And here, by the way, I want you to know this piece of information. Why was Abel a shepherd? I mean, today, why does anyone raise livestock or sheep? So we can eat. But did people back then eat meat? When did they start eating meat? After Noah. So you, Abel, why are you raising sheep? To offer a sacrifice. They say the first person ever dedicated to God on earth was Abel. His job was to serve God, and he didn't want anything material, other than raising sheep to offer them to God. His brother, on the other hand, got a bit preoccupied with food, and that's why his mind got involved in the matter and ruined the demonstration. God was the one who set this up, as it was a sign pointing to the sacrifice of Christ. So Abel learned this from his father, and Noah learned from his father. This knowledge has been passed down from Adam until now. When someone tells me, in Egypt, the ancient Egyptians worshipped God in the same way you Christians do. You took the church and its design from pagan temples. Over there, they had a holy and a holy of holies, and everything you do now. Did Moses take Egyptian worship and give it a Jewish flavor? That's the accusation people make, isn't it? Weren't they living in Egypt? He spent 40 years in Egypt, lived in the royal household, and was exposed to pagan worship. As soon as he left, he made the tabernacle. Just like the temples you visit in Luxor, if you come to Egypt, they have a holy of holies, a holy place, priests, and everything you can imagine. The answer is no. The knowledge was passed down from Adam and through all generations, that there is a God, there is worship, there are priests, and there are sacrifices. And there is eternity in ancient Egypt. Did you see the celebration of moving the mummies to the new museum? It was truly impressive. They believed in the afterlife, which is the resurrection. Was the original source the ancient Egyptians? No, the true source is God. Therefore, there is a difference between what is mentioned in the Bible and what is found in the mythologies of civilizations. I'll tell you this story so you understand it. Suppose we heard news that on the highway in a certain area there was a huge accident and cars crashed into each other. Many people died. There was blood everywhere on the streets. And news says because here was rain and there was a problem. Is this news true or false? We don't know. But someone came to us and we said to him, "Thank God for your safety. We heard about it." He said, yes, but it was just one car scraping another. You know, people here tend to exaggerate the news, so what reached us was mythology. But the one who was actually at the scene told us the truth. It's always like this. In media colleges, they play a game with the students. I don't know if you've seen it before or maybe in a video. Sometimes we do it at conferences. They line up in a row, facing away from each other. The first person turns around and looks at the leader who is running the game, and the leader acts something out like, "I woke up, washed my face, got dressed, and went out." What does the first person understand? He just tries to mimic the actions as best as he can. Then he taps the person in front of him on the shoulder, and that person turns to look at him. He does the same action that he saw or heard from the leader, then turns around and passes it on, and this continues until it reaches the last person. You'll find that what the last person does is completely different from what the leader did, because each person added their own understanding to it. And just the first mistake, the very first person, the whole thing changes completely. There's a video about this on YouTube. You'll find it really fun. You can even try it with the kids in Sunday school. This is to show us that sometimes as information gets passed along, it changes. Each person adds their own impressions, concepts, and what they hope for, and what he aspires to, and all these things. Okay, the creation of the universe, Adam knew it from God, and the story of the fall, Adam lived through it, and the promise of the Savior who would be born of a virgin. Adam knew all this and all the sacrifices and everything else, so Adam taught his children. Of course, generations multiplied and the family tree branched out. So the story reached the point where there was idol worship and a belief in multiple gods. They understood the Trinity as polytheism. That's how it got to them, and that there were conflicts between the gods and all sorts of things, and that we have to offer a sacrifice to make sure that God doesn't get angry, to protect ourselves from his wrath. So the information reached them incorrectly, and we need a reliable news source to clarify things for us. So what's the news? God told Moses, "Leave the world behind and come up to me on the mountain for 40 days. Let me tell you, when Moses was up on the mountain for 40 days, what was he doing? He was listening directly from the source. Write it down, Moses, exactly as it happened. I am the one who did this, Moses. I'm not telling you a story I heard, I'm the one who did it. And this is God, of course, he witnessed all the events, because God is eternal. So here, Moses is receiving directly from the source. All nations have their own mythology. You'll find, for example, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Has anyone heard of it? The Epic of Gilgamesh contains the story of creation, the story of the flood, and everything else, but with different names, different details, and imaginative elements. This is what's called mythology. So, if I come and say the Bible contains mythology, then what's the difference between it and Gilgamesh? So, just as other nations received inaccurate stories and wrote them in their books and used to sing them, like that epic, which they would perform like the traditional ballads we have in Egypt, where someone sings a long story and people enjoy and memorize it. The point is, when God saw that divine knowledge had strayed from humanity, he brought Moses and sat with him. He stayed with him for 40 days. Of course, God could have made Moses understand in an instant. God is beyond time. But it's as if he was telling Moses, take your time. All the information that reached people is distorted and needs to be corrected. There is a correct side to it. For example, every nation says there is a God, but they don't really know him. And there is a Trinity, but for them it turned into polytheism. And there are angels, and there are spirits, and there is resurrection. Let me teach you the truth, Moses, so that after Moses writes down the correct information for us from our Lord, who would dare to say that this is mythology? That's the difference between us and others.